I hear all the time in different groups, what is the best prenatal to take? And the reality is there is no best one. One, prenatals normally just end up in your poop. You're taking way too many minerals at the same time. Those minerals are binding together. The calcium, the iron, the copper, they're binding to the other minerals, and they're just being passed out. When it comes to taking all of those B vitamins at once, again, the same thing is going to happen, but through your urine. All of those vitamins aren't even going to make it into your system. They're going to be passed through first pass metabolism and end up in your urine. So you are just flushing money down the toilet. Now, when you're pregnant, a lot of your nutrient needs do go up, but what's so important is pulling out those nutrients and taking them at different times so that your body can actually absorb and utilize them. And you also want to run specific labs while you're pregnant to see what nutrients you need more of. So some women need a lot of iron. Their iron really tanks when they're pregnant. Other women, their iron doesn't tank. So just pumping full of iron can actually cause you to go to an iron toxicity, which is definitely not great for you or your baby. So we want to test that. And I have a whole video on what you can and can't do while you're pregnant that goes over the different labs to run. But when you're looking at a prenatal, the other thing that you really have to be cautious of is the forms of your B vitamins. So some people need methylfolate, some people need other forms like folinic acid, the less stimulating form. So for me, if I went and took a prenatal that had methylfolate in it, I would become very manic. And this actually happened to me because when I was pregnant for Caden, I was at that time, I need methylfolate. Everybody's talking about MTHFR. So I started to take an active B complex while I was pregnant. And I was anxious the entire time I was pregnant, the entire time I was breastfeeding until I figured this out and started to learn about genetics. And it turns out I don't need that at all. I need the very gentle, calming forms of B vitamins to not cause that. So it's really important to get these labs and test to see what form you need. Now, the other thing that you can often find is a whole food prenatal. And that's normally going to come from plant products like spinach and beets, which are very high in oxalates. And oxalates are an anti-nutrient. They bind to other nutrients and then again, more expensive poop. So the moral of this story is there is no one best prenatal. The majority of them are going to end up in your toilet. And the best thing that you can do is get labs, get tested, see what your body needs so that you're properly supporting yourself, which in turn is going to properly support your baby. So if you want to check that out, check out my prenatal video where I go over what you can and can do during pregnancy and while you're breastfeeding, and ask your practitioner to run those labs so that you are getting the best support.